Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing here on this Friday morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning with Reganelite here on Friday, the 28th of November, 2025 at 11 a.m. UK time. We are dual streaming live on youtube.com/Reganelite and on twitch.tv/Reganelite1. Hello to both chats. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to address some things that have been happening this week with regards to my channel in a bit. I'm just going to wait for more people to come in with regards to that. But just for those who are new here, we normally go an hour. I may be going over to an hour 15, possibly an hour and a half today because I need to get some stuff off my chest, and I'm going to wait until there's more viewers before I do so. So we are going to go over 12 o'clock today. I'm just going to give people a warning ahead of time here. Not doing it because I want to. I'm doing it because I want to make sure that I cover the usual stuff that I cover here on this channel. But I need to give some time to talk about some very serious things here. For those who are new to this live stream, what we normally do here is we look at today's daily quota. We look at the weather that's happening today and over the weekend until Monday. And we also have a look at different news. News today, we're going to be looking at stuff from the UK, we're going to be looking at stuff from the world, stuff from America, a couple of other different places as well here. Good morning, Billy Kershaw. I hope you are doing well, and anybody else who may be lurking in the chats here. So let me start here with today's daily quota. Here is today's daily quota, just for reference here. There it is there. You can, if you can see it just about. There is today's daily quota there. Did say this was a nice one yesterday, didn't I? It's an unknown one for today. So, never let the sadness of your past and the fear of your future ruin the happiness of your present. And that's kind of related to today, which I will be going through shortly. Let the sadness of your past and the fear of your future ruin the happiness of your present. And unfortunately, that quotation is unfortunately applying to how I'm feeling right now about some things. It is a powerful quotation, and we will come to that shortly. There for the quotations for tomorrow and Sunday. If you guys want to know what they are, you can follow me on my social medias or join my Discord community where I post them every morning, just for reference there as well. So I'm going to go through the weather, and then after that, guys, I'm going to have a serious discussion with everyone. So let's have a look at today's weather. So here is today's weather. Here is the map of the world. Here you can see quite a few. Oh, look at that big snowstorm. That's a humongous snowstorm. It's bigger than the UK there. Unbelievable snowstorm there. Lots of rain and showers across the different parts of the world there. Yellowknife is -20. -20 degrees. My God. I cannot imagine what that's like. I cannot imagine that cold. That must be absolutely brutal. Stark contrast in other parts of America there. Vancouver 8, Vancouver, Canada 8, San Francisco there 12, New York 7, Ottawa 3, Miami 22, Mexico City 16. Parts of South America there, got some nice warm weather there still. 26, 30, 25 there. Stanley there, a 10 there. Parts of Africa here, 20, 24, 21, 27 in some parts there. Dhaka 27 there. Moving over to the other side of the world here. Got Perth, doesn't have temperatures for some reason. Auckland is 18, Sydney 21, Darwin 27. Philippines 26 there, Tokyo 8, Beijing -1 there. We can see New Delhi at 14, Riyadh 22, Tehran 11, Tripoli 13 there, Athens 16. And if we just zoom in, you can see we saw there, I think it was Iceland was -6, was it? Yeah, -6. Not as cold as Yellowknife, but still cold there. -1 there. They got a big snowstorm up there in the north of Finland there. Oslo 7 makes a nice change from the cold temperatures that they've been having there as well. Parts of Europe in terms of weather here, we got Lisbon 14, Madrid 9, Rome 9, Nice 11, Bern 1, Vienna 1. The snow has stopped on the Swiss Alps from the looks of it there. Zagreb 2, Tirana 11 there, Athens 16, Istanbul 16, Budapest 6, Chisu 7 there, Kiev 4, Vienna 1, Prague 0, Berlin 5, Warsaw -2, Voskitz and Minsk, I probably mispronounced the names there, -2 each. Moscow 2 degrees there. Zoom in a bit more in. So yeah, so there's no snow in Europe from the looks of it today. Brussels and Paris 9. Well, actually, that's not true. There is parts of Europe that is experiencing some snowstorms. I take that back. Do take that back there. But as for weather happening in the UK today, here we can see, like I said a couple of days before, the weather's going to be okay today. Temperature's not going to be too bad. There's going to be a few scatter showers here and then some tiny bits of snow possibly in parts of Scotland there. Tiny bits of rain here and there. Wales going to get some bits of rain there as well. Temperatures are going to drop from the looks of it here. So yeah, tonight, Friday, we can see temperatures are going to get a bit colder. 9, 10 at Manchester 6, Belfast, Dublin 7, Edinburgh actually 7. Some of those scatter showers are going to be around here and there as well. Good morning, Mad Monk, person, anybody else lurking in the chats. Moving into the next day here on Saturday morning here. Got some really cold temperatures of 6 and 5 degrees here. London, Cardiff 9 and 10 degrees there with some showers as there. North of Wales going to be experiencing some rain overnight there. Yeah, most of Wales is going to be experiencing some quite some rain there as well from the looks of it. Mid showers there as well. Moving into Saturday morning here, and we can see again those showers coming around there as well. Into the Midlands there, it looks like there's going to be maybe possibly some snow, possibly in the north of England, which is very fascinating there on Saturday morning there tomorrow. But we can see the temperatures in parts. London is getting away with it, but other parts of the UK are not here, with some of the still very chilly temperatures here as we go into the weekend here. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be some rain mainly around England, parts of Wales, parts where I am going to be there is where it's going to be with some of those there. Moving a bit more further on later on there, that rain is still going to be around the north of England, may hit parts of Scotland there, some of that rain as well. So there will be parts of Scotland going to experience that rain. Yeah, you can see it's there. And it looks like later on there's going to be some snow as well in the north of Scotland there as well. Yeah, it looks like there's this snowstorm that's bringing about this real chill cold here, this rain and snow here. We can see here around these temperatures here that's bringing that. I just zoom into 18 there, moving into Saturday evening. Yeah, temperatures are really going to drop. Like I said, yeah, so temperatures are really going to drop. Saturday is really going to drop here. These temperatures here going really all the way down to 7-6 degrees. Edinburgh going to be chilly too. So parts of Scotland going to be very cold. Please be aware of that here. Going into that, and then into Sunday, from Saturday night into early Sunday morning here, we can see temperatures here. There's going to be parts going to be covered in snow, 1, 3, 3, 5, 2 and 2 degrees. You can see very cold again. So Saturday night into Sunday, temperatures are going to really drop here. Moving into the rest of Sunday here, it looks like it's going to be dry. Sunday we're going to have a dry day, it looks like here. Yeah, it looks like Sunday's going to be a dry day. Temperatures are just going to be really, really chilly here from the looks of it. No need to apologize being late. It's totally fine. Leaf skin. I'll say to you guys hello in just a second. Yeah, so Sunday's going to be actually a very good day, with the exception of the temperature, low winds. It's going to be a dry day. So if you have plans Sunday, Sunday's a good day to do some stuff. Won't have to worry too much about the weather there from the looks of it there. But I mentioned this yesterday, but for those who didn't see it, so this is Monday. This is Sunday night into Monday morning, guys. For my friends up in Scotland, there's a big snowstorm. Looks like they may be coming over overnight. So you may wake up with a bunch of snow there. Motherwell Smith, I'm very good, thank you. And again, I'll come to the rest of the YouTube chat. Good to see you guys all there in a moment, because I do have, like I said at the start of the show, I need to have a serious conversation about some things before we get into the nitty gritty of things. So I wanted to make sure people were here before I discuss it. I'll do that once I've finished the weather report here. So yeah, this is overnight on Monday here. If we go into a bit later on there, so it looks like that snow is going to clear up by Monday morning. From the looks of it, we got this big shower storm. Looks like here, and we got some high winds coming on early Monday morning here. Temperatures are actually going to increase. Temperatures are going to increase from the looks of it here. 9, 8. So they're actually going up early Monday morning here from some of it. Yeah. So we're going to be getting Monday's pretty much going to be lots and lots of rain. Parts of Scotland are going to get some snow there as well. If we move a bit further on here into later on here, we can see again some of that rain will clear up later on, but yeah, there's some of the snow is going to be still around in parts of Scotland, but mainly England is going to be experiencing lots and lots of wet weather. Wales and Ireland going to be experiencing that wet weather. The temperatures will increase Monday evening. There you can see London at 12, Cardiff 10, Manchester 11, Edinburgh increased to 8, Belfast and Dublin 7, 8 respectfully there. And then if we just move a bit more further on into Tuesday here, we can see the temperatures do dip again. The temperatures will dip again, unfortunately, overnight into Tuesday here. Temperature is going to drop down again from the looks of it there, but looks like Tuesday's not going to be too bad in terms of cold weather there. So that is the forecast pretty much for the weekend there, just for reference. Let me just say hello to everyone in the chat before I get to the serious conversation that I need to have here with everyone. So let me just say hello to people who are coming in. I haven't said hello to Graham Beanie. Good to see you there. Person Impersonator, Indie Duck Melody, Billy Kershaw, Stephen Banker, Viper Scott, Ellie, Lab Monk, Leapskin, Billy Kershaw, Jane, Kirsty Hamilton. Good to see you there. Linda, good to see you there. Scott Hayes, good to see you there. DJ Marty Moo, Alex Adams. Thank you guys all for being here. Appreciate it. Or how whatever cause is current, says Mad Monk. Thank you so much for that £2 super chat. Very kind of you, my friend. Thank you. Right, so let me get this off my chest while there's people here. So what's happened? So first of all, I want to apologise for last night's technical difficulties. I did say it last night. These things do happen. Technical difficulties do happen. There was an individual in the chat who I generally believe there was an individual in the chat who made accusations that they would complain about it at the start of the live stream, which was not true. And the individual, unfortunately, said was getting a bit tensy. Let me put it that way. And I have not banned that person, even though I could have done. And I hope that person does intend to come back into the community, because I think that person is a very good person, and I think their place his heart's in the right place. But unfortunately, this is not the first time this week that we've had difficulties with people here on this channel, despite them being on the left and them being on the right place in communities here. We also had earlier this week, we had someone from Wales who had a misunderstanding about a certain policy on the luxury cars tax policy that Labour were implementing. And for those who aren't aware, they're increasing the insurance premiums for people with disabilities when it comes to purchasing a car, which is what Labour are planning to do, which is outrageous. And while I wasn't fully aware of the details, my position at the time was, and it still is my position, is that if people should not need luxury cars, they should be able to get into a car, be able to get to where they need to, and be able to get out of it. Okay, that's the main thing I said. What I wasn't aware was the increase in cost that people with disabilities who are on the entitlements would be paying more of, which is absolutely outrageous, and it's difficult enough for people with disabilities. I don't support the government increasing the threshold for people having to pay more to be able to get disabilities. I've made, if I didn't make that clear previously earlier this week, I'm making that clear now. That person has been banned from this community, and the reason that person has been banned is because they attacked me on my own Discord community, calling me English privilege. And those who have been following my channel for a long time know that I don't consider myself in any way privileged in any way whatsoever. And when I tried to have an engaged dialogue with that person in the DMs on Discord, they still continued to put words in my mouth, which was completely and totally unprofessional. I'm not going to bash anybody here, but I just want to make this very clear. Look, we've been a small community for a while here on this channel, and this community we have is consistent of not just people here from the Two Davies, but some from Politics Social with Graham Hughes, some from Max Robersby, some from Phil Morehouse, from Daily Blase, even from All Shorts as well. We're a mixture of different communities, and we're not always going to be on the same page and always agree on things. And unfortunately, I feel that this week in particular, the community has been tainted by certain disagreements, and it's really has upset me that for the second time this week that we've had somebody things of just kind of miscommunications or misunderstandings of things. And I understand that emotions are running high about when it comes to news and politics with some of the things that have been happening this year. But I really do feel that people just need to take a step back and think about what they say before they say things here. I am not sorry for comments that I've made or actions that I've taken at all this week on people. I don't have any remorse, or I'm not sorry for any of what I've done here, and that I've done this week, because I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. And I think if I was a bad person, I don't think people would be watching my channel. I don't think people would be listening in, and I don't think people would be, and I don't think even people would contribute financially in any way, shape, or form to support the work that I do if I was considered a bad person. Now, like everyone else, I'm a human. I make mistakes. I don't get anything right. I don't know politics as well as you guys in the chat. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I'm really not as knowledgeable as some of you guys in the chat when it comes to certain things, and that's where you guys educate me. But what I do not accept, and I'm being fucking serious here, is if somebody talks down to me or talks in a sort of way that undermines me in any way, shape, or form publicly, either here on Discourse, you don't get a second chance. You get kicked to the curb. You get blocked. You get out of my life, and you get out of this community, because we are not all perfect. We all make mistakes. And I've been through 15 years of retail where I've put up with some of the most horrific shit from people, and it has affected my mental health. And I'm not prepared to put myself too much through that with people in the chat. And I appreciate the moderators when they know the trolls when they come in, and they step in, and they when the trolls come in and they know who they are. But I made this very clear. I'm always willing to give people second chances, and all I'm asking for those people is just to apologize and admit when they are wrong. And I've apologized when I've fucked things up, guys. And that's all I'm asking for those people, and they can't do that. I'm not gonna. There is one other YouTuber that I know a lot of you guys are very well connected to. I'm not going to mention his name. I want to mention the guy's name, but I'm not going to mention him. But he's someone that I generally think he's hearted in the right place, and I just wish he would just accept what he did was out of order in my Discord community. But it is what it is, you know. It's a real shame that there are people who are on the right side of politics, like me, like many of you, and they get wild up over the tiniest of little things, over a simple misunderstanding. And I really wish people would just take a step back and breathe. And unfortunately, guys, it's not just even in politics this week that I've had to put up with this, which is why I'm also doing this. This week, we had this. I've had this on my wrestling community, in the wrestling communities, even my own ones where I'm paid for, and I'll share the story with you guys because it is wrestling related. So, my favorite wrestler, she and her tag team partner, they fell out of the tag team tournament on Wednesday, which was obviously devastating. It was gutted for her, and her tag team partner, her name is Julia Hart, right? She's 24 years old. She used to be a cheerleader. She's still young, okay, but she's very good in the wrestling ring, and she does this on national television. 24 years old. Respect for her, right? And in the match on Wednesday, she did, and she's done moonsaults before. She did a moonsault and it didn't go to plan. And instead of doing a moonsault where you land on your belly, she ended up doing an elbow drop. She stood up and did an elbow drop instead. She got scrutinized all over the internet wrestling community, all because of that. And this is a 24-year-old female wrestler who didn't get it right, because as you guys know, in sports, you're not always going to be perfect. You're going to make flaws. You're going to make mistakes. Not everything goes to plan. And the amount of hate she got was absolutely outrageous, and it fueled me with so much anger. So I've had that this week on top of dealing with this week with some of the politics here. And I just want to calm the temperatures down. I just want everyone, people to just calm down and take a step back on things. And just, I want people to know that, look, we're not a perfect community, okay? But I really appreciate each and every one of you coming here with your different views and different opinions, whether it's from Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, different parts of the world, and you give your time to listen to the provide the content that I provide to you guys, and you're sharing your thoughts, and I generally mean that so much. I really do appreciate it. But please, 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 just take it easy. You know who you are in the chat. There are some of you, and you know, we can have disagreements about things. That's totally cool. It's fine to have disagreements on things, but don't turn the disagreements into insults or start attacking one another. Yeah, because all you're going to do is just going to get pushed out of the community, and we're better than that. Okay, we're all better than that. Yeah, that kind of stuff is something that the far right do in their chats, in their communities. We're not like them. We're supposed to be better than them. And they would love nothing more than to see lots of left-leaning communities who work alongside one another break apart, all because of small disagreements about the language we use or on certain things that we don't always fundamentally agree on. Yeah, that's what they want. They want us to divide. They want us to be split amongst each other. So let's not give them that. Yeah, let's work together. Yeah, and let's try and move things forward here. It's really, really important. So thank you guys for listening for all of that. I'm going to read some of your comments before we get going here. Thank you, Martin, for the 2 CHF, 2 Swiss dollars towards the Penguin Kingdom. Thank you so much. Pingu will greatly appreciate your support. Thank you so much. It's not a kingdom, respectfully, because they're not fans of the monarchy. They are democratic. They're a democratic penguin society. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Debates is an integral part of our society. It should be engaged with grace and respect for others' views. Yeah, here we are. Do I know this Welsh person? I don't want to name names. Please don't name names in the chat, okay? And I want to make this clear. Yeah, these aren't bad people. They really aren't. Not. It's just misunderstandings or miscommunications. That's all it is, guys. They're not bad people, and I want to make that very clear. Okay? It's really, I really want to stress that. What's going on in my chat? AOP not saying on the chat. Who's that? AOP, sorry. Discuss assholes, the good people, that's in general, and loan rate to anyone specific. Yeah, there are some. It's okay. Again, we're not pointing fingers. Person says, Regan, I worked as a benefit advisor for many years. People who are scared of losing standards of living can end up being rude to those helping them. Fear makes people behave oddly. Absolutely. When people are struggling, people who are struggling to get by, and going through very difficult times, and many of them have shared those here, and even on our mental health live streams. You're 100% correct, impersonator. Those emotions do play on us. They do play on us, especially when when I come across on a certain subject or a certain policy that I don't know all the answers to, and I'm not gonna, like I said, I don't always know the answers to everything, and sometimes I don't come across it the right way or the correct way. And sometimes people take it as an offense or take it the wrong way, that I'm a bad person, that I don't care, or that I'm manipulating or something. No, my views and my opinions don't change as soon as I stop recording or I don't stop live streaming. I'm the exact same person as I am here. And I just want people to know that I care. I do care about people. I do care about the cost of living. I care about people in the people who are down at the bottom, who don't know. And I talk about this as somebody who has never been in their shoes, who's never known what it's like to be homeless, who's never known what it's like to scrounge and scratch and claw to make it to the next day. And it breaks my heart that people who share those stories with me. There have been some people who have shared some of those stories in private with me, which has been very heartbreaking. And And I really want people to understand that. You know, I'm not always going to get things right, and I just wish some people would understand that. Boat poke, jump off ropes, out crawl around a mat wrestling, says Melody. It's a moonsault, is what she did. If you want to know what a moonsault is, you can Google it. And she used to be a cheerleader as well. We're talking about a 24-year-old wrestler, 24 years old, and she's getting scrutinized in the wrestling community all because she didn't get one moonsault right. You tell me if that's fair or not, chat. I don't think it's hard to tell that that's a bit out of order. So, why do people mug wrestling? listen, I don't mind you guys mugging wrestling because you guys aren't interested in it anyway, so it's totally fine. Check out the kindness charter in the job centre. Oh, what a joke. Frigs and loves and blessings, says one angry pagan as well. Person Mayor says, I have some good news. I finally locate my son after 5 months. Spoke to him yesterday. That's so good. Wow, impersonator. That's some fantastic news. Honestly, 5 months. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much for sharing that, person impersonator. What some nice positive news that we got in the chat there. Thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate it. Right, guys, like I said, I might be going a bit over time at the start, so I might go to about 12:15, maybe, depending on how much we cover, just for reference, because I knew I was going to be talking about this for a bit, because we're already coming up to 12:30. But it's okay. I've got a lot to do today anyway, so could take up 3 weeks scaffolding, says Stephen Banker. I wouldn't last 5 minutes on a scaffold. So let's all get angry at Labour today, guys. This is the main story from that I've seen. Labour MPs attack Keir Starmer's U-turn over worker rights as a complete betrayal. Former minister says ditching plans for one-day protection against unfair dismissals is definitely a manifesto breach. This is so bloody outrageous. So Keir Starmer's faking backlash anger after ministers abandoned plans to give workers day one protection against unfair dismissals, a U-turn that breaches the Labour manifesto. MPs, including the former minister who spearheaded the Employment Rights Bill with the former deputy leader Angela Rayner, have voiced concerns over the climb down announced by the government. Ministers have axed the proposal to remove the 24-month qualifying period for workers to make an unfair dismissal claim, allowing them to do so from the first day in the new job, to try and get the legislation through Parliament. The bill was caught in a standoff between peers and MPs over the original plans to give workers the protections on day one, as well as measures to plan exploitative zero-hour contracts. This is infuriating. This is absolutely infuriating. This is where the peers really do. There are times where the peers are really, really good, and there are times where they are absolutely infuriating. And this is where it really grinds my gears, guys, because these peers who are in it for the businesses, who get money, and probably some of them are lobbyists as well. Let's not beat around the bush on this here. Are doing everything they can to protect the interests of businesses here. And this workers' rights bill was so important. These getting rid of the banning exploitative zero-hour contracts, giving workers rights on day one is so important. And this just gives carte blanche for people to get kicked to the curb the moment they don't like them, the moment they're not happy with them. Thank you for the £2 super chat, Viper Scott, for Ollie. For Ollie, indeed, yeah. So the government now intends to introduce the rights over unfair dismissal after 6 months of service instead. So a person can work for 3 months and can work for up to 6 months in the period, and they can just basically get kicked to the curb. While other day one rights to paternity leave and sick pay are still due to go ahead, coming into effect in April 2026. So if you're just a normal average worker, right, you can still get kicked to the curb after 5 months. After nearly 6 months of working for them. And you still don't have those workers' rights. I just don't know what to say apart from this. How far have Labour fallen? They have fallen so far here. Caving into peer pressure. He says we cannot support the halfway measures. He added, "This is a wrong-headed move and I will campaign to have this concession reversed." The Labour MP for Paul, Neil Duncan Jordan, says, "There has been no discussion with PLP, Parliamentary Labour Party, about this. The Lords don't have primacy over the manifesto commitment. So why have we capitulated?" The Labour MP for York Central, Rachel Maskell, asked, "Employers have nothing to fear from day one rights, but workers have everything to fear from an employer who doesn't want day one rights." Couldn't be more here. This is taking away the power from workers and putting it back into from the workers and putting it back into the employers here. It's so outrageous. Thank you, Peter, for the £2 super chat, a couple of £1. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. And thank you, Mad Monk, for the final super chat there. We've reached today's super chat goal. Thank you for that, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry I don't have the same confetti animation as Graham Hughes. If I can get it off him, I will do so, but I don't have it, guys. So sorry for that. DJ Mardimu said it should have been as soon as they passed the probation. Mine was 6 weeks. The Employment Minister, Justice Matters, who was sacked in the Prime Minister's reshuffle earlier this year, says definitely is a manifesto breach. Explicitly promises to consult fully with businesses, workers, civil society on how to put our plans before practice, before legislation in place. This will include banning exploitative zero-hour contracts, ending fire and rehire, introducing basic rights from day one to parental leave, sick pay and protections for under dismissal, it said. Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson said there is a very real prospect that the implementation of the Employment Right Bill would have been delayed if the government had not made a U-turn over day one protections against unfair dismissal. I'm going to make this absolutely clear. I don't care if there's a delay in the fucking bill. People need this. You don't just capitulate just because there's barriers in front of you. You don't just give up just because... You don't just give up and throw in the towel just because there's barriers in front of you. You don't just do that. You don't just, oh, the peers are making it difficult. Oh, it's going to take longer to put through. Oh, what the hell, let's just capitulate. No! You have to fight for these. You've got to fight for these. This government is so spineless. It's so spineless. And it's so wrong. Workers are going to suffer directly as a result of these decisions. So, quote, there have been discussions on point around unfair dismissals and the time periods between businesses, the TUC and government, which followed. That discussion had been agreements about the way forward, which is welcome, she told Sky News. That means that the time limit will come down from 2 years to 6 months, and that runs alongside the important day one rights around sick pay and those around parental leave. But the risk here is that if we don't make progress, those important rights wouldn't come into force to April next year. This is what they've done, right? This is what they've done. So they know they're losing. They know the budget, even though the budget had some left-leaning stuff in it, and it hasn't gone down well with the right-wing media, and it hasn't been the greatest of budgets. It's not been a great budget. It's all been piss-poor budget. This is another way of them trying to curb the flow of voters leaving them in droves for Green Party, Lib Dems and other parties here. This is their way to try and say, don't leave, don't leave. Look, we're getting the Workers' Rights Bill, guys. Look, we're getting the Workers' Rights Bill done sooner. Without telling those same people, oh, by the way, you're not going to get all the rights that we promised in our manifesto pledge as well. This is them trying to stop the bleeding of losing voters. This is what this is. Rather than actually sticking to your guns, sticking to your policies, this is them changing tune. Arthur's broken promise. In that manifesto, what we said we will work with trade unions, business, Yeah, it's another broken manifesto pledge. This is a complete betrayal. This is a complete betrayal by the Labour Party. People's rights are getting here. Business Secretary claims workers' rights bill doesn't breach Labour's manifesto. Can guarantee you Phil Morehouse might argue that as well. UK's rejects visa girl for girl left destitute in Jamaica by Hurricane Melissa. Lena Yana Brown's parents asked for application to be expected so she could join them in the UK after her house has been ruined. An 18-year-old girl destitute in Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa has been barred from coming to the UK to join her parents. The Guardian reported on the case after the hurricane. Her mother, a carer, moved to Jamaica with a British father, a telecommunications worker, in April 2023, leaving her daughter to be cared for by her grandmother. The couple married this year and are saving up for £4,000 visa application fee for Yana to join them. Applied in June, and after Hurricane Melissa, the couple urged the Home Office to expedite her visa decision, saying an urgent situation has become an emergency. The hurricane destroyed the house that she was living in with her grandmother, who BBC is no longer physically able to look after her, in Cash Hill, Hanover, which was badly damaged by the storm. UNICEF has launched an appeal to help an estimated 1.6 million children in the region to get essential water, education, and nutrition supplies. Officials at the Home Office have now rejected the visa application. In its refusal letter to Letiyana, the Home Office official states, while it is acknowledged that the effects of the natural disaster significantly affected you and the wider population of Jamaica, I am also aware that you continue to reside with your family members, stating that your grandmother is unable to provide care. Evidence of this has not been demonstrated. It is therefore not been demonstrated that you could not be cared for by the relatives in the country that you currently reside. Their house has been destroyed. This is their home. This picture here. How is this suitable for an 8-year-old girl? Come on. Come on. Sending the appeals backlog of 106,000 cases mean it could take up to 2 years for the case to be heard. Home Office approach of demonstrating trouble, lack of compassion, understanding, and valuables of a vulnerable young girl is currently separated from her parents, she said. Yeah. Oh, come on. All visa applications are carefully considered on their individual merits in accordance with the immigration rules. No, it's not. This case was not. This is disgusting. This is disgusting from the Home Office. Look, her home has been destroyed. And her grandmother, I don't know how old the grandmother is. I imagine she's quite old. Like, it's very difficult for someone that, when you reach a certain age, to look after a child. And you've lost your home. Like, obviously, I don't know the full extent of their situation. But in this situation here, they really should just allow the girl to come. They really, really should. It's absolutely disgusting. Mortified. OBR chair hopes inquiry into budget leaks will report next week. Yeah, well, waiting for someone to get sacked for it. Budget tax rises may be physical friction as paying delayed for election year, the IFS has warned. Excuse me. The government is to ditch a day one unfair dismissal policy from worker rights bills. West Streeting calls BMA impossible and says they've made misleading claims there. Let's have a look at the front of UK here. UK energy bill payers will hand $2 billion a year to EDF for new power stations. Delays inevitable. Starmer's leadership safe until May election, says Labour MPs. Yeah, I think, that budget, as much as I don't like it, it's going to keep them going until the local elections. Pub chain, Bristles and Butchers and Butlers face a £130 million hit from rising wage and food costs there. JP Morgan boss given a go-ahead for a new £3 billion tower in London after UK assurances. 1 in 10 UK parents say their child has been blackmailed online. NSPCC fines. What are we doing to tackle this? Harms including threats to releasing intimate pictures as charity warns against parents sharing the photo details of children online. Yeah, I really do think as a parent you should avoid posting pictures of your children online to avoid this. WhatsApp messages is not the end. Is not so. WhatsApp messages is okay because it's encrypted, but like the likes of social media, like Instagram, Facebook, like those kind of places, it's probably the better place not to post your children's images, your parents' images online here, because they're not doing enough of it, and especially if it's open in public, you put your children at risk. I know one or two of my close families. They're not allowing their children, they're not allowing images of their children to be put on Facebook for this particular reason here. And the fact that 1 in 10 UK parents are having this is just absolutely devastating. We need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect children from harm here. Busy shopping days means I have to go into bitch mode on the bus when my disabled spot becomes storage. Oh my god. Like, that just takes the mick when you get on your bus and there's prams. Or I imagine for you, Melody, when you get on the bus and there's prams there. And it's not against the prams. It's just because, like, it's just the timing, you know. It's just like, why me? I'm sorry you have to endure that. I really do. I hate Black Friday as I'm getting nothing but emails consistently from every shop on the planet offering deals that are dearer than it was a few months ago. Yeah, Black Friday is not to be trusted with, really, to be fair. They really do take advantage of people. We'll have a look a bit more of UK news. What else they've got here? Baganotte defends calling the Chancellor spineless in budget row. I don't have a problem with her calling that. I don't think that's not. We've heard some more nastier language in there. I don't think that's out of order personally, but some people may disagree. Former Brexit Party MEP denies taking payment from pro-Russian campaign. Oh, what's this? We didn't see this last night. This was this morning. So, a prominent politician in Nigel Farage's Brexit party denied that he took payments as part of a pro-Russian influence in the European Parliament. Oh, look, guys, we have he must be related to Nathan Gill, guys. He must be related to Nathan Gill. So, David Coburn is named in a series of WhatsApp messages between an alleged pawn of the main security agency of Vladimir Putin's Russia and disgraced former MEP Nathan Gill. Coburn was also Scotland UK's Independent Party leader, while Gill led the party in Wales when they served as MEPs for 5 years. Messages were released following the convictions of Gill, the former Reform Russia's former leader in Wales. Was also jailed for 10.5 years. Yep, I know that. WhatsApp shows Oleg Voshkin, a former pro-Russian member of the Ukrainian parliament, discussing money apparently set aside for Coburn while he was bribing Gill. A document submitted by the Crown Prosecution Service to the Old Bailey last week for Gill's sentencing hearing includes a message from Voshkin discussing a payment of $6,500, about £5,000, for another MEP. Speaking out outside his chateau in France, the former Brexit Party and UKIP MEP Corbyn answered no when a BBC journalist asked him whether he had been paid to give speech to promote pro-Russian campaigners. BBC has not seen evidence that Coburn, who led the now defunct UKIP party in Scotland in 2014-2018, was directly offered or received any money. The messages were sent on the 3rd of April 2019, 2 months after Coburn joined the Brexit Party, now known as Reform Russia. CPS claims that conversations about the participant in a meeting of the Electoral Board of 2 pro-Russian TV channels in Ukraine called 1112 Ukraine and News One. Both were connected to Viktor, a super-rich Ukrainian oligarch whose daughter has Putin as her godfather and who is key to close Putin ally. Is he going to face any sanctions? Is any? BBC's made several attempts to contact Corbyn. I've received no reply. 66-year-old royal home. The BBC went to the 66-year-old's royal home in northern France to ask him in person. Oh, what a surprise, guys. He doesn't live here. He lives in France. What a surprise. If he had been paid money in connections to the dual bribery case. He said no as he left home but stopped answering as he was questioned why he was named in the court documents. He has not responded to further comments. Corbyn spoke up broadcasters, European Parliament. They spoke up for the broadcasters in the same European Parliament where Gill made a speech for a return for money. He told the BBC if Gill had offered him money, he would have gone to the police. Interesting. I don't know if there's something here. He was the co-defendant of Nathan Gill's bribery case. Has not been charged because he's not in the UK. Okay. It's because he's not in the UK. So I think if he set foot in the UK, he's probably going to get pulled. A Met Police spokesperson said nobody else has been arrested or interviewed under caution, but said the full investigation remains ongoing. Statement from Reform UK says Corbyn had no involvement with the current party. Of course they would say. I'm sure he's going to get asked about Farage and he'll play it down. Oh, look, there's the two of them together in 2014. Don't they look so happy together? UKIP Scotland. My good God. Typical, isn't it, guys? You find one weed in that story, and there seems to be more coming up, guys. 82,114 petition is hit Reganelite. Oh, lovely. Thank you for sharing that. That's the that's for the, yes, you put it up there, the petition link. Yeah, please, guys, if you haven't signed the petition, please do. Be extremely helpful there. What else we got here? Labour ditches one-day protections from unfair dismissal and U-turn. Yet we touched on that already. All these other stories we kind of touched on here. Ministers insist plans to absolve council send. Yet we spoke about that yesterday. Warnings after young care leavers face increase in homelessness. Yep, the government said they would end homelessness, guys. They said they would end homelessness. Yeah, no, they said they would end homelessness, and it doesn't look like they're going to. France to intercept small boats after pressure from the UK. Really? Parents threatened and blamed by authorities as 1,000 adopted children returned to care. What's this about? Cool. 1 point. What can we do? Social. They are just 2 of 50 parents the BBC spoke to during 6-month investigation into why adoptive families are being broken apart and their children returned to care. They uncovered a hidden world where parents are subjected to lies and blames by authorities across the UK as they struggle with the needs of traumatised children who often suffered abuse and neglect because they were removed from their birth families. Parents speak of being threatened, harassed and punished into mental health crisis, while one adopted teenager returned to care said, with more families in the support right now, maybe together now. Faculty's breaking point with her adopted son Liam came after she had already threatened with knives and arrested by police following untrue allegations. Wow, that's nasty. Children are being used. Oh, that's just terrible. I don't want to dive too deep into it because it sounds really bad. I hate stories like that. It really makes me sick. The stories like that make you lose faith in humanity. A woman traumatised by breast cancer treatment at NHS Trust. Search for a British man who fell off the cruise ship off Tenerife coast. Oh my god. I hope they find that person. I really, really do. That's absolutely terrible. Buy loo roll and keep the receipt. How to get a good deal on Black Friday. This ain't the pandemic. We're not in the pandemic anymore. Dear, oh dear. Let's have a quick look at the Independent here. Reeves Fowl state pension won't have to pay tax. Melody says, in my early days I wasn't fast enough, so fell out when he drove before I was parked. He replied, people like you don't belong on buses. I'm so sorry you're here. I'm so sorry people talk to you like that. That's absolutely disgusting. Just go, I got one choice, you got many. We're to be on the bus somehow, that makes me the problem. Not just prams, luggage and shopping, yeah. Yeah, people don't think about others, you know. Every now and then there are good people who generally move out the way for others, but there's always those who don't, who are just nasty. And unfortunately, we see more the nastiest of people than good sides think about when we think about it. I hope you do get those people when you sometimes get on buses where people generally move out the way for you or help you or and whatnot. I hope you do get those people. I really do. The budget stealth tax phenomenon and how much it will cost you. Trump officials criticise UK for letting people down on immigration. We just literally had numbers that the net migration is going down, for crying out loud. Labour MP says workers have everything to fear after U-turn. Yep. PMQs of betrayal. Yep. Was Nigel Farage a racist schoolboy? Maybe. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Probably was. Mouthfish issues weather warning. Yep, lots of rain coming over the weekend. Backbenchers demand Starmer reverse workers' rights U-turn. The shape of your backside reveals your chances of getting diabetes, apparently, in a health thread. Not opening that. Sorry guys and girls who need to know about that. Will it snow across the UK this weekend? Some parts. Thief steals Christmas nutcracker statue from Edinburgh cocktail bar. What? Why? The manager pulled back and said he was disappeared and no witnesses had alerted bar staff to the theft outside. Wow. A thief on an electric bike made away with an 8-foot Christmas nutcracker soldier statue from outside an Edinburgh cocktail bar, leaving its owners devastated in the run up to the festive period. Why would you do that? CCTV captures a person who appeared to be a male wearing a mask and a hood, cycled up to the £900 decoration and placed it over his lap. 30k statue formed part of a Christmas display which had cost the venue Copper Boston thousands of pounds, with a £350 table also broken during the theft. Police Scotland have been informed about the incident which occurred on the corner of George Street and North Castle Street at 10 p.m. on Monday. Why would anyone do this? It's a nutcracker. The individual nutcrackers are about £900 each. My God. What's the matter with people? Man firebombs Scottish police station in attempt to blow it up. What on earth are you thinking? Officers nearly hit by Molotov cocktail after firebombs Scottish police. You haven't got the on, yeah. Firebomb Scottish police station. A police officer narrowly avoided serious injuries after a man launched a Molotov cocktail at a police station in Scotland in an attempt to blow it up. CCTV footage shared at Crown Courts on Thursday showed James Taylor, a former soldier, launched homemade petrol bombs at Police Scotland vans outside the Forces Livingston's office. One of the bombs narrowly missed PC Christine Nudge. She ran outside the office. I'm not. Oh yeah, I don't. Do we really want to look at it? Probably not. Look, what the hell is this guy doing? What is this guy doing? The hell is he doing? What are you doing? Oh my God, he nearly hit. Oh, Jesus. What on earth is wrong with people? Oh my God. Thank God the officer was okay. My God, that was close to him. Jesus. Absolutely terrible. Oh God, I hope I didn't shock anybody with that footage there. My God. People are insane. Has mental issues, homeless guy. I know that restaurant says Viper Scott. Was over the Edinburgh newspapers and TV. Jesus. Oh, it's absolutely terrible. Like I said, guys, I'm going to be going at least till about 10 quarter past, because I want to cover a couple of bits more. So, just because I wanted to get that bit out of the way this morning. So, let's drift to some of the world news, guys, see what's happening in the world here. Israel bombs Syria, Gaza after extrajudicial killings in occupied West Bank. More people in the West Bank losing their lives that they don't need to. Again, like, what are we doing here? Hello, world. At least 13 Syrians have been killed and others wounded in an Israeli artillery and missile attacks in the town of Ben Jen, southwest of Syria's capital, Damascus. What was the justification for this? In Gaza, at least one Palestinian has been killed in an Israeli attack on Bani Shapita municipalities near Khan Yunis city. Condemned the Israeli settler violence in the West Bank and the extrajudicial killing of 2 Palestinians by Israeli soldiers in the occupied territory of Jen city. The violence must stop. Foreign ministers from France, the UK, Italy and Germany denounced the massive increase in settler violence in the occupied West Bank. Yeah, but they won't attack Israel. The regional support for extrajudicial Israeli action in Syria, in Lebanon and elsewhere in the region does not enjoy broad support across the Israeli political spectrum, whether it's the coalition or the opposition. Okay. This is from somebody here from Nuria Ola. This is an interesting development because paradoxically, Damascus enjoys the support of the administration of US President Donald Trump, but it is that administration which recognizes Israel's illegal annexation of the Golan Heights. There are contradictory policies at play. So far, we haven't seen any pushback to Israel as Israel's actions in Syria. There have been interventions to avoid further deterioration. It's like when Israel struck the Ministry of Defense in Damascus, or when Israel was not allowing Syrian forces to enter southern Syria, because Israel wants the entire area until 37 miles from Damascus to be demilitarized. Those interventions are tactical to de-escalate, but not really to stop Israel from doing exactly what it's been doing in Syria, Lebanon, and beyond. Israel seized territories of the Syrian Golan Heights following 1967 wars, held it ever since. Yeah, Bashir Israel violated 1944 agreement. God damn it! Where is it? Israel occupied Golan Heights. There, yeah. So this is what they. Man, why they've taken that territory? People injured in Syria there, rushed to hospital. Israelis governments view Syrian territory as fair game. No, it's not. It's taking sovereign nation. Israeli forces injure 3 Palestinians, 15 others arrested in the West Bank camp. That's 55 minutes to go. That's another story in America I want to touch on as well. RSF converts hospital in Sudan's West Confront into a military base. Are you joking? Sudan Doctors Network says military use of hospitals is a blatant violation of sanctions of medical institutions. You guys had the audacity to turn a hospital into a military base. Wow. Wow. RSF, wow. Like, talk about, atrocities. Like, just, it's not like, just dig a deeper hole for yourself there. It's just, my God. Absolutely disgusting. ICC rejects Philippine leader directs appeal for provisional release. More than 50 have now been killed in the deadly Sri Lankan floods. What do we know so far? Yeah, there's also been deaths from mudslides as well that I've covered in a short video. Why has Venezuela banned 6 international airlines amid US tensions? Don't blame them. Tunisia hands long prison sentence to opposition business and media figures. Tunisia is a very corrupt country. Page not found. They've deleted it. US teen Mohammed Imran released from Israeli prison after 9 months. A US teenager said the 16-year-old's health has been declined since his arrest in February for allegedly throwing rocks. Wow. For allegedly throwing rocks, guys. Apparently. Absolutely disgusting. Let's have a look at the Associated Press here. Donald Trump vows to permanently pause migration from poor nations in anti-immigrant social media street. You've got to be kidding me. Do you remember when Trump first came as president and he tried to ban all Muslims from the country? Do you guys remember that in his first term? That really didn't go well across the world, didn't it? And he had to get told, you can't do that, Donnie. And he had to undo it. Donald Trump holds a photograph as he speaks to reporters after speaking to troops via his Mar-a-Lago estate on Thanksgiving. President Donald Trump vowed on Thanksgiving, of all days, to permanently pause migration from poorer nations in a blistering late-night anti-immigrant screed posted on social media. The extended rant came in the wake of Wednesday's shooting of 2 National Guard members who were deployed to patrol Washington, D.C. under Trump's orders, one of whom died shortly before the president spoke to U.S. troops by video on Thursday evening. So I haven't actually directly covered this story, and I mean this sincerely. So the individual from Afghanistan, traveled from one part of America to the other just to do this crime, which is pretty horrific. But because he's an Afghan, they've made the assumption that all Afghans are like this and therefore we have to treat them all the same, because that's how the right works, unfortunately, which is disgusting to say the least. Dylan King, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. The 29-year-old Afghan national who worked with the CIA during the Afghanistan war is facing charges for the shooting. The suspect emigrated as part of a program to resettle those who have helped American troops after US withdrawal from Afghanistan. Why did he do this? I really want to know why he did this. Only reverse migration can fully cure the situation, Trump posted on his social media truth platform. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all except those that hate, steal, murder and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here for long. It's not a very happy Thanksgiving message from the President of the United States. Trump's threats to stop immigration would be a serious blow to a nation that has long defined itself as welcoming immigrants. Elected on promises to crack down on illegal migration, Trump's raids and deportations have disrupted communications across the US as construction sites and schools have been targets. The prospects of more deportations could be economically dangerous as America's foreign-born workers account for nearly 31 million jobs, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The president said on Truth Social that most foreign-born US residents are on welfare from foul nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels, as he blames them for the crimes across the country that is predominantly committed by US citizens. This is once again divide and conquer, dividing people here. The perception that immigrants breed crimes continues to falter under the weight of the evidence, according to a review of academic lectures from last year in the annual review of criminology. Quote, with few exceptions, studies conducted at both the aggregate and individual levels demonstrate high concentration of immigrants are not associated with the increased levels of crime and inequality across neighborhoods and cities in the United States, it said. How long before these right-wingers start making up statistics and start using them as factual information to people? How long before they start doing that? Generally, I feel like they're going to start doing that, guys. And he wants people to come to the World Cup. People bought their tickets to come to the World Cup, and you hear this kind of language, and it's just very frightening. Very frightening for people. People who paid huge amounts of money to go to the World Cup. And how are they going to go when they got language like that from a president? Fleet of UPS planes grounded after deadly crash expected to miss peak delivery season. US retailers are about to see if Black Friday benefits from a holiday halo effect. Yeah, Black Friday is a very, very big thing in America. A great effect snow piles up in the Great Lake region, impacting Thanksgiving travel. Travel was going to be affected by certain weather, but since the end of the shutdown, it's not been as bad as it was expecting to be in the run-up to it. Death toll from the floods in Thailand reached 145 as receding water reveals widespread damage. On a trip to Tehran, AP journalists see a change in Iran. Dozens more bodies recovered after Hong Kong blaze raising a death toll to 128. Yeah, I was seeing someone, I believe it was Chris C, was sharing in the, was updating us on this for those who don't know about this horrific story. This is basically Grenfell Tower, but, you know, on Grenfell Tower on drugs. It's absolutely terrible. Hong Kong firefighters found dozen more bodies on Friday in an intense apartment search for a high-rise complex where a massive fire engulfed 7 buildings. The death toll in one of the city's deadliest blazes rose to 128, and many remain unaccounted for. I think it's likely about more than 200 remain unaccounted for. Last I checked, I think is what was mentioned. First responders found that some fire alarms in the complex, which housed many older people, did not sound when tested, said Andrew Yang, director of the Hong Kong Fire Service. Though he did not say how many were not working or if others were. Meanwhile, the anti-corruption agency has said it is investigating possible corruption in relation to innovation projects at the complex. I do know that the people, people who worked at the companies who built, who constructed certain things have been arrested. There have been certain people who have been arrested already on this. The blaze jumped rapidly from one apartment building to another, bamboo covered from netting foreign panels. Yeah. Yeah, it's an absolutely tragic story. I hope, you know, that not just in Hong Kong, but the rest of the world takes light of this and responds to this, especially in other parts of the world where we have buildings like this that do more to end this. Israeli forces kill Palestinian men in the West Bank after they appear to surrender. This image was taken from a video by Palestine TV showing 2 Palestinians kneeling on the ground with 2 Israeli forces shortly before they were shot dead during a military operation in Jen West Bank. Doesn't matter if you surrender, they're still going to shoot you. You can clearly see they're surrendering, but they still shoot them apparently. That's the Israeli. That's the IDF for you. Russian drones targeting civilians are turning one Ukrainian city into a human safari. Why? Leave the civilians? I wish the Russians would just leave the civilians alone. West African blog suspends Guinea-Bissau's following military takeover. I heard about this. I don't know enough about this story. So yeah, Guinea-Bissau there's been a coup or takeover of some sorts here in Guinea. Guinea-Bissau. Am I saying the country's name right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. I hope I've said it right. The West African regional blog known as the ECOWA said it was suspending Guinea-Bissau from its decision-making bodies after the military seized power in the country on Wednesday, 3 days after national elections. The body said in a statement late on Thursday it decided to suspend Guinea-Bissau from all ECOWAS decision-making bodies until the restoration to the full and effective constitutional order in the country. Basically, there's been a coup attempt. Soldiers in Guinea-Bissau on Thursday announced a new dual leader ceremonting a forceful takeover of power that begins after this week's disrupted presidential elections. The deposed president, Umaro Sissoco, has left for neighbouring Senegal. The opposition, meanwhile, claimed that Mbadio had fabricated the coup to avoid an election defeat in Sunday's closely contested presidential vote. The high military command on Friday lifted the curfew imposed during its military takeover and authorised the movement of people and public transportation across all neighbourhoods of the capital. Calm has returned to the capital with people and vehicles circulating through the city streets after army checkpoints were lifted. The main stock exchange and markets in outlying districts as well as commercial banks have also reopened. Guyana-Bissau, one of the world's poorest countries, has been dodged by coups and military coups since its independence from Portugal more than 50 years ago, including a coup attempt in October. They had one in October. Country of 2.2 million people is known as a hub for drug trafficking between Latin America and Europe, a trend that experts say has fueled its political crisis. The coup is the latest in surge of military takeovers in West Africa, where democracies have been challenged by disputed elections that analysis could embolden militaries. Ah, dear, oh dear. All I can say is, guys, my condolences to the people in the nation. I just don't I don't know enough about the country to say on it, and I just my condolences to the people, because it's the people who are suffering more than anything from these changes. Any other stories here worth looking at? No. I said we'd go a bit further, go on a bit longer. I'll try and stop at 1:15 if I can, guys, just because I was talking quite a bit earlier at the start of the show. Yep, our election coup, we saw that already. Death toll climbs for the Hong Kong incident. US and Russian crew safely dock with ISS for 8th month mission. This is him. US and Russia crew safely dock with the ISS for 8th month mission. NASA astronaut Chris Williams flew on board the Soyuz MS-28 spacecraft with Sergei Maglov and Sergei Kard. Joined the station team crew for an 8-month stay. Their work will cover scientific studies and daily operations on the orbiting base. NASA says Williams will focus on research and technology designed to support the future exploration and improve life on Earth. The team is expected to remain in orbit until July 2026, taking part in dozens of planned experiments with the 2 spacewalks there. Very cool. Very cool. Wish them all well. Wish them all well up there. I really do. I really, really do. Vatican welcomes 27-meter Norway Sposs in St. Peter's Square. Just looking at stories on the right-hand side in case anyone's asking. Interpol Global Policing Forum says security needs a new compass. Putin says US-Ukraine draft points could form basis for future peace deal. Well, you want secession for territory, which you're not entitled to. Inside Lego's festive operation, how the iconic bricks meet holiday demand. Do you have a quick nose? You're gonna give us a bit of an insight. Let's have a little nose, guys. Look at all this Lego. You know, when I went to Hamburg, they had I think it was Hamburg. Yeah, in Hamburg. Yeah, it's not Lego related, but they had this a place where they showed all these fast trains, which was so cool. God, this is incredible. This is a Lego factory. Wow. I've never been to Denmark, by the way. Never been to Denmark. That is it's quite. It's remarkable how far Lego has come, and still to this day, you know, still to this day has an impact on us all. There's people all their lives have been surrounded by Lego. It's quite an amazing thing, guys. Lego is pretty amazing. That was an interesting story. What are you guys saying? You guys talking about other stuff? No worries. Let's have a look at Kiev Independent. I'm going to stop in about 5 minutes, so we'll have a look at 1 or 2 more stories, then we'll head out. Just because I want to have lunch, just like you guys. Experts charges very soon. Investigators search Zelensky's chief of staff in Ukraine's biggest corruption case. That's just been updated. Russia claims receipts of US-Ukraine peace talks parameters ahead of Moscow talks. Statement comes as US envoy Steve Witkoff is expected to travel to Moscow for meetings with President Putin next week. Yeah, Steve Witkoff is going to Russia next week. Ukraine strikes Saratov oil refinery airfield in Russian-occupied Crimea. Ukraine's general staff has claimed residents in several Russian cities in occupied Crimea reported hearing explosions overnight. Who is Andriy Yagman, Zelensky's chief of staff, targeting Ukraine's biggest corruption probe? If you give your life, you live forever. North Korean soldiers in Ukraine encouraged to use grenades to avoid capture, media reports. The North Korean military is highlighting the heroic service of soldiers who blew themselves up in Ukraine rather than to be taken prisoner, a daily North Korean source says. Oh my God. Since the start of the full-scale invasion, Pyongyang has strengthened its relationship with Moscow, supplying weapons and deploying North Korean troops to support Russia's war in Ukraine. The North Korean military is highlighting the heroic service of soldiers who blew themselves up in Ukraine rather than being taken prisoner, a daily DK source said, according to the media outlet. Such messaging is delivering during political classes ahead of at least twice a week. Apologies, guys. There's a knock on the door. I'll be back in a moment. Sorry, 1 second. Amazon parcels. Not for me, guys. Unfortunately, not for me. Excuse me. We'll stop soon, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for your patience. Heroic services. This is terrible. During the session, instructors claimed the North Korean army achieved a record distinction, unmatched even by Russian soldiers. These poor troops, these North Korean troops, they have no idea what they're doing. They're taking part in a pointless war. Pyongyang has sent around roughly 11,000, 12,000 troops to Russia. In late 2024, a senior Western diplomat told the Kiev Independent North Korea may have sent more, with Ukrainian officials estimating its contribution 20 to 30,000 soldiers. Dear. Not my Amazon parcels, Ellie, not mine. Not my Amazon parcels. I have relatives who do it, unfortunately. Russian media recently reported that North Korean troops have been deployed in Zaporizhzhia Oblast, but Ukrainian officials have subsequently denied the reports. Waste of life. Just like Russian soldiers, just like Ukrainian soldiers in this pointless war. Explosions reported in several Russian cities amid Ukraine's drone strike. That's this morning as well. Russian coy going around Kremlin won't commit to Trump's peace push because they want territory. Their concessions that they want is too much, and they won't move position. I'm gonna end with the Financial Times here. We'll have a look at the FT and then we'll wrap up, guys. Just because it's getting on. Labour retreats on day one rights for workers. Backbenchers accuse the government of violating manifesto. Yeah, we touched on that already. Business investment to fall for the first time since COVID. UK Physical Watchdog says the OBR's estimates contrasts with Rachel Reeves' ambition to use private investment to drive economic growth. She just doesn't get it. She just doesn't get it. This is UK business investment to fall. The UK's physical watchdog is saying this. Changes to business rate leads to accusations of a new stealth tax. Debt and austerity remains a risk for UK government after tax raising budget. Schools and councils warn the cost of special needs support is unaffordable. Reeves to push pension tax rate into law to reassure markets. It is not good whatsoever, guys. It's not good for Rachel Reeves. The JP Morgan Tower, we saw that earlier in this live stream. Labour will not tax state pensions for those with no other earnings. UK to join the EU Defence Fund. Breakdown. Anti-corruption authorities raid the house of top Zelensky aide. Yep, we know about that. Anything else here? Routine NHS prostate screening set to be rejected. Measles surging again as vaccine rates drop. The WHO has warned. That's not good. That's not good at all. Israel to investigate soldiers suspected of executing unarmed Palestinians. I call bullshit. They're not going to investigate it properly. OpenAI partners amass $100 million debt pile to fund its ambitions. $100 million! Jesus! Think of that money. Think of that money. It's going to be terrible, guys. It's going to be terrible. Right, guys, as I said, yeah, thank you guys for putting up with... First of all, I want to say thank you for putting up with me for the extra 15 minutes or so here. I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you for listening on my thoughts about, like, the community and that. I do mean this sincerely. We have a great community here, you know, and I do want it to continue to expand, to continue to grow, not just here, but also on our Discord. And I want to say I really do appreciate everyone giving their time for me. I know everyone has lives as well, so... When you give your time for me, it really means a lot to me. You know, whether you're a member or a non-member, whatever you're going through, I really appreciate you guys coming out for me. And thank you very much, yeah, for that. Thank you to those who gave super chats this morning. It's much appreciated as well. I hope you guys have a great Friday, and I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. But just before you run out, just quickly remind you, I'll be live again on Monday with another Good Morning show. But before then, if you guys want to check out some other great YouTubers, there'll be The Agenda at 1 o'clock with Phil Morehouse and Graham Hughes, if you guys are interested in that, from Politics Social. I believe at 4 o'clock today, Witchy Goth is going live because she didn't go live yesterday. I believe she's going to go live at 4 o'clock today. Do check out her live stream. She does great stuff on her channel. She's a lovely, lovely person, Witchy Goth. I had the pleasure of having her on this channel, and I'm looking forward to having her back on very soon. So do check out Witchy Goth. At 4 o'clock, I believe she's going live. At 5 o'clock today is Friday Frolics with Daily Blase. Please join him for that if you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. Some great fun content from him. Definitely be worth checking out. And there's lots of other live streams later on in the day. A Thompson is another good one. No Justice may be going live as well on her channel. Very informative stuff there from her. Even if you don't always agree with some of her stuff, I think she's quite fascinating. And also, believe it or not, she's had a chat with Zach Polanski. She got onto Bold Politics with Zach Polanski. I saw a short clip of the two of them chatting in Zach Polanski's green room. So that's really exciting as well. So I'm very happy for Helena there. So yeah, do check out her content as well. Max Roberts will be going live, of course, at 8:30 tonight as well. And if you haven't checked out as well, do check out our friends, the BIM podcast as well. Mikey Flanagan and I had one of them on the round table at one point as well. Lovely guys, absolutely lovely guys, top notch as well. Do check out their content as well whenever they go live. Lots of great YouTubers out there, so give them some love and support. Also as well, Big Mad Studios, every now and then he'll go live as well. Give him some love and support as well. He deserves it. He's a good guy. He's a very, very smart guy. And I think our friend Alex Political X drops a premiere video around 6 o'clock as well on his channel. Very, very good stuff. He puts a lot of time and effort in, and do check out his book as well. He's got there as well. I do recommend. So I know that's a lot to throw at you guys, but obviously we want to help out lots of great communities out there. But I just wanted to put them out there, guys. So, but yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. But before you go, if you can, just hit the like button, share it across social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and do check out Rumble on Patreon. And thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.